today we are going to visit our Something to Do book, and I have April bookmarked because we did March. We started the year in March, and now we're going to look at April. So this little book, if you haven't seen the last video, it's a little penguin book originally published in the UK in 1960 something, 66. Penguin Books, original copyright 1966, Great Britain, London. So it's lots of little stories, games, things to keep kids busy, activities. So they usually start with a little poem. So the April poem is called The Thrush's Nest. Oh, I can hear the clock chiming. It is 6 o'clock here. All right, wait for it to finish. Okay. The Thrush's Nest by John Clare. With a thick and spreading hawthorn bush that overhung a molehill large and round, I heard from morn to morn a merry thrush sing hymns to sunrise, and I drank the sound with joy, and often an intruding guest. I watched her secret toils from day to day, how true she warped the moss to form a nest, and modeled it within the wood and clay. And by, like heath bells gilt with dew, there lay her shining eggs, as bright as flowers, ink spotted over shells of greeny blue. And there I witnessed in the sunny hours a brood of nature's minstrels chirp and fly, glad as that sunshine and laughing sky. There's a bird or thrush with their little eggs. The Cuckoo's Month. Everyone knows April 1st is All Fool's Day, when people try to trick each other. It has been suggested that the reason for this strange custom is that it was the day when Noah sent the dove from the ark, and it came back without being able to find land. So now the best April Fool's jokes are to do with sending on a fool's errand. After noon, the joke rebounds on the joker, and the intended victim can retort, April Fools, days past and gone, you're the fool and I am not. The song of the cuckoo is first heard in April, and there's a saying, an ancient saying, if a girl wants to know how many years it will be before she marries, she can count the answer in the number of cuckoo calls she hears. April is famous for its showers, so we've made an extra long list of things to make indoors in case you can't go out very often. Blackbird. They have a lot of nature, birds and things. The April flower. The blackbird is the April bird. The primrose is the April flower. Oh, I didn't know this. Long ago, all flowers were called roses, and the primrose comes so early in the year that it was called the first rose, or the primrose. Flowers are a pale yellow and grow on a pink stalk among wrinkled leaves. They grow in woods and hedgerows, fields and gardens. They have a faint, sweet, fresh smell, was the very essence of spring. The April duck. The April pet is a Muscovy duck. Muscovy ducks are handsome black and white birds with red beaks. They soon let you know whether they are pleased or annoyed by the way they make the crest of feathers on their heads stand up or lie down. Things to make and do. These are things you can make with boxes and tins. Here is a shoebox house. Looks like you have 4 shoeboxes turned on their sides and becomes the individual rooms. And just glue them together. All you need is 4 shoe boxes, a ruler and a pencil, plain and corrugated cardboard, glue, brush, and scissors. Here are the rest of the instructions. We're just really step by step here, but it's not that hard to do. It just makes it look hard because there are a lot of steps. Oh, I'm mistaken. So sorry. These are the only instructions for the shoebox house. And then on page 72, we have a market stall. You can see there's like a little hinge there. Oh, I see. Here's the completed stall. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's places to put little things you want to sell, your apples, zucchini and such. Here is a carry cot for your doll. It's a box, and then you have a little handle on it so you can carry your doll like a little crib. Matchbox car. You need 1 empty matchbox and the inner tray of 1 other. Scissors, glue, colored paper, small piece of cardboard. So as you can see, these are like made from most things you probably have around the house. A matchbox lorry, or as a truck as we call it in the US. Lorry or lorry. There it is. There's a little truck. Raffia mats. You need stiff cardboard, 2 skeins of different colored raffia, which raffia is like a natural fiber, like a coarse string. Pencil, scissors, a pair of compasses. Not quite sure. I guess these are kind of like coasters, maybe. Not quite sure. Raffia skirt. A doll's dinner, not edible. Newspaper clothes. Dressing up in newspaper is a good way to spend a wet afternoon. All you need is large newspapers, pins, and a friend. No scissors are allowed. All fitting is done by tearing and pinning. And then they give instructions for a skirt and a tunic top. Making newspaper clothes is a good game to play at a party. Work in pairs and see which pair produces the best outfit in 5 minutes. So this is the precursor to Project Runway. Covering books. Now, when I was in school, we all covered our books with brown grocery bags. You would cut open and it would make perfect book covers. I don't know. I have a feeling they don't do that anymore, but I don't know for sure. But we got pretty good at it, especially if you were kind of precise, which I was. Make a nice sharp fold. Making a nesting box. Here's the pattern. Nesting boxes attract breeding birds into your garden and give a valuable opportunity for watching their family life. To make a box that a bird will use, you must be sure that it is firmly secured, weatherproof, and safe from cats. Okay, now we have April cooking section. Coconut ice and peppermint creams. Those both sound delicious because I love coconut and I love peppermint. Alright, you want to learn how to make coconut ice? You need 1 pound granulated sugar, 1/2 pound desiccated coconut, thick saucepan, greaseproof paper, 1/4 pint of milk. I would use coconut milk. Sounds perfect. Cochineal. I don't know what that is. Or other coloring. So, I guess food coloring. And a baking tin, if you know what that is. Is that archaic cochineal? Number 1, butter and then line a baking tin with greaseproof paper. See, nowadays we would call it parchment paper. 2, put the sugar and milk in a thick saucepan. Boil them for about 3 minutes. Remove saucepan from the stove. Add the coconut, stirring all the time. Then put in the food coloring, drop at a time, until it is the shade of pink that you like. Pour the mixture into the tin and leave in a cool place to set. When set, cut into bars. If there's any left at the end of the day, store it in an airtight tin. I wonder why it's called ice, coconut ice. So, coconut, sugar, and milk. Interesting. All right. So it's kind of basically coconut candy, I would say. Pink coconut candy. All right, peppermint creams. Let's learn how to make peppermint creams. You need 1/2 pound icing sugar. I have learned that icing sugar in the US is what we call powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar. 1 teaspoon peppermint essence. Now we would call that peppermint extract. I don't know in the UK if they still call it essence or if they call it extract. Pastry cutter, egg white. So I don't use egg, so I would use egg replacer here. A large bowl and a pastry board. 1, sift the sugar into the basin. What basin? Oh, the large bowl. That's the basin. Okay. Beat the egg white stiff until stiff and add the sugar. Add the peppermint extract and mix well until a stiff paste is formed. Sprinkle a board with icing sugar and roll out the paste until it is about 1/4 inch thick. They use an inch. Why aren't they using metrics? Don't they use metrics? Why is this in centimeters? Somebody explain, please. Is this an American version? Is that why? Penguin Books, Middlesex, England, Baltimore, Maryland. Alright, so I think they made an American version where they converted. Yeah, because I didn't notice that, but like this is in inches and not centimeters. And the same thing with the 1/2 pound instead of using grams. So they have made this edition for American audiences. All right. Let's see, where were we? Beat the egg white till stiff, add the sugar, the peppermint, stiff paste form. Roll it to 1/4 inch thick. Cut out into rounds with a small pastry cutter. Leave on a wire tray for 12 to 24 hours until firm. So it's probably kind of like a peppermint patty, maybe like the insides of a peppermint patty. I wonder if you could coat it with chocolate, then it would be like a true peppermint patty. Games to play. Patience. This is called Patience. You need 1 pack of playing cards and 1 player. So this is a solitaire game. Put out 9 cards face up, 3 rows of 3 cards each. I don't have any cards handy. All right. The aim is to pair off the cards so you finish with no cards in your hands. Each pair must total 11. The court cards, or face cards, the king, jack, queen, and king, count as 11 each. Ace counts as 1. So you have to pair them off to add up to 11. Then as you take them away, you add them back with your cards in the hand. So when you get stuck, you have to start over again, and you try to go through all your cards. Here's a game called Letter Words. You need paper, pencils, and any number of players. Oh, this we've done. This is a great card game. First person calls the name of a country, for example, Australia. Everyone else writes down the name of another country which begins with the last letter of the previous country called, in this case, A. The person on the left of the first caller calls out another country, and everyone writes down, as before, the country starting with the final letter of the country called. The game continues until each person has called a country. Well, I have not played this. I was thinking this is like a card game we play, so you would say Australia, and then the person would have to think of a country. It begins with A, so they might say Argentina. That ends with another A. Might say America. Well, A countries end in A also. Anyway, you get the idea. And as you go back and forth, usually the letters are going to be changing and somebody gets stuck. But this is a bit different. Marbles. The Roman Emperor Augustus played marbles, so it's an ancient game. Ordinary marbles are called commonies, potties, or stonies. This is the kind which are shot in an alley. Huh. All right. Blood alley. A blood alley, I did not know this, is a large marble streaked with red. So they've got a couple different games. They have one called Boss Out with 2 players, Knockout, 2 to 5 players. Here are some more games. The farmer's in his den. This can be played indoors and or out by boys and girls. The children make a circle round one child, who's the farmer, who stands in the middle. The circle joins hands and walk around the farmer singing, "The farmer's in his den, the farmer's in his den. Hey ho, the farmer's in his den." And okay, the farmer wants a wife, the wife wants a child wants a nurse wants a dog. We all pet the dog. Farmer in the Dell, I think that's when we were kids. It was the Farmer in the Dell. All right. Card building. This is just stacking up cards, making structures until they all fall down. Using a library. There is a children's section in most libraries where the books will be divided into groups such as fiction, hobbies, travel, natural history, music, and so on. Once you have joined the library, you may borrow books from these shelves and take them home for 2 or 3 weeks. Always remember to look after the books very carefully. There are also shelves of reference books, encyclopedias, and dictionaries for you to read in the library, but not to take away. The librarians are there to advise you and to help you find your books, and they will order books you want to borrow if they are not already in the library. Indoor and outdoor gardening, perfect hobby for April. Here is a water garden. How to make a water garden. You'll need a jar, a water glass, crystals of alum, not sure what that is, iron sulfate, copper sulfate, water, and silver sand. Okay. You can order the crystals from a chemist and the sand from a shop selling fish as pets. Okay, I wonder if you can get these things on Amazon. Crystals of alum, iron sulfate, and copper sulfate, and silver sand. All right. Fill any jar or bottle about 3/4 full of warm water. Then add the water glass, stirring and shaking until the solution is cold. Put fine silver sand in the jar and let it sink to the bottom. forming a layer an inch thick. Then press a few of each of the crystals into the sand so that they are out of sight. Use a knitting needle. Take care not to spill or jog the water. In a few days, the crystals will rise in the liquid in strings of lovely color. Oh, these are what we used to call rock gardens, or what did they call them? Magic rock gardens or magic mineral gardens. You remember those? Like, you'd buy them in a little kit. And then, I don't know, you added water or something, and they were like, these colorful crystals would actually grow. So I think that's what that is. It's just doing it all yourself. There's no kit. I was thinking this was going to be plants, but it's not that kind of garden. And here is writing with flowers. To write your name in flowers, choose a small flower like Virginia stock. Rake and smooth the soil well and manure it. Okay. Oh, this is okay. You're actually going to be planting. This is actual gardening, like writing your name literally in flowers. All right. So you want some kind of fertilizer, basically. Okay. Mark out your name with a stick in letters 6 inches high. So you'll, depending on how long your name is, you'll need a pretty good little plot, a couple feet at least, or maybe a couple yards. You may need more than one packet of seeds. Empty the seeds onto a saucer so that you can divide them up equally for each letter. Then sow them according to the instructions on the packet. This month, sow sweet peas. With their gay colors and sweet scent, they are lovely for cutting later. Sow them in flower pots and keep them indoors. Plant them out in early June with some twiggy sticks to climb up. It is also the time to plant marrow seeds, following the instructions on the packet. All right. This is a bit confusing here because the writing with flowers, and then I got confused about the sweet peas, but this is a separate project. So basically with the writing your name with flowers, you just plant the seeds in the shape of your name, basically, and then wait for them to grow. And the sweet peas is just because of it's a nice April flower, and they smell beautiful. I love sweet peas. All right, so that is the end of April. So I have all the things here. What would you like to do? Let's see. Let me go back. We've got the thrush. We've got the poem. You could read a nice poem. April Fool's Day is already passed, so. And you have the blackbird, the primrose. If you love flowers like me, this is a good time to go to your garden center and just pick out some flowers that you just love the looks of. And you never know. They say, oh, this needs more sun, this needs more water, whatever, but even if they just last one season, you can get a lot of joy and they're not that expensive, really, relatively to some other things anyway. So you could put them in pots, even if you just have a balcony. If you don't have a yard or a garden, put them in a sunny window, or if you have like a kind of porch, patio, balcony, you can get little hanging baskets and put pots of flowers in there. It really will cheer you up, I think. Alright, so if you want to do any crafty things, if it's raining, or even just feel like doing something indoors, this would be fun to do either by yourself or with a friend, or if you have kids, you can do it. Even teenage girls might like to do it, or any teenagers. It doesn't have to be just girls. Let's make a little market stall, a doll cradle, and trucks or cars. You could have all different ones. Decorate them like you could have, it could be a police car or a mail truck or a fire truck. Be a sports car, be a taxi cab. You could have a whole fleet. Books. Nesting boxes might be kind of fun to do maybe with plywood or balsa wood. This is just cardboard, but that's interesting. Oh no, it says 2 pieces of wood, 24 by 6 inches. So that requires a little more work, know-how. You need nails and screws and brass fixings. And shall we make some of these? Which do you want, the coconut ice or the peppermint creams? What's your favorite flavor? They're definitely very sweet candies, but that's okay in small amounts. I would vote, if I was going to try one, I'd probably try the peppermint just because I really like both peppermint and coconut. I don't know how those flavors are together, but the peppermint creams, I'd probably try that. Any of these games? Did you play any of these as a kid? Of course, marbles. Probably we all played marbles. Alright, well, that is our April book chapter. So it's actually already April 19th today, so pretty soon it will be May. I'll try to do it a little earlier in the month next time.